Tom, the end of that busy schedule, I bet you'll be delighted once full-timers on Saturday and having that week off next week. But how have things been this week?
Yeah, well, it's been a tough schedule prior to Tuesday, but the actual end of that tough period is Saturday. You know, it's the first time for a long time we will go Saturday to Saturday for games. So, look, it's part and parcel of the way the league has been presented to us this season, and obviously coming up after that, we've got the cup competitions to start coming in as well. So, look, we've got a group of lads that are working as hard as they can to stay as fit and as available as they can, and that's changing on a daily basis. Obviously, like I said, the workload that some of them are doing is alien to them. They're new to this environment, they're new to this level of the game, and some of their bodies isn't handling it that well. So, we have to. People who look at the teams that we've picked over the last sort of month or so will say that it's changed probably a lot more than it has in the last, 6 or 7 months. And that's not a trait that I would normally sort of favour. It's something I like to, try and keep it set aside. But with the niggles, the knocks and what we've picked up over that period of time means we have to change accordingly.
You're obviously forced to watch from a bit more elevation, a different view for you on Tuesday night. What were your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, it's another game. Look, people have called me crackers here, but it's factual. Other than the Carlisle game this season, we should have took something out of every game. We should have took 3 points on Tuesday night. We had an unbelievable, amount of possession, which ended in really, really good chances to score goals, and we didn't score. We made a couple of errors in quick succession, very, very at the end of the game, actually, and they capitalised on it and nicked a point. So from their point of view, well done. They took a point, but it was a game we dominated and should have won. And that's the frustration for me. It's not everybody looks at the errors at the other end of the pitch or the lack of solidity in some occasions, but ultimately we haven't scored enough goals, and that's crackers when we're the top scorers in the division.
We're playing Southend this weekend. What kind of threats can they pose us?
Well, all over the park. They're a good side, good outfit. It's a big club in this division. I think the manager and his staff know their onions. They know what they're doing. Very unfortunate not to get out of the division last season, and I think they'll go very close again this. But like ourselves, they've had a little bit of a barren spell in terms of wins in the last couple of games. And I, coming from Southend and living in the town, I know the fervour and the need to win football matches at our football club, and it's up to us to go there and try and be as positive as we can and take something home. We've not done that in the last couple of years when we've gone there and had really close games. All 4 games we've played over the last 2 seasons have been really good, but we've never won a game. They have. We've drawn a couple. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the game.
And away from the league action, next weekend we've got the FA Cup. We now know that we're playing Dorking, so are you looking forward to that tie?
Not yet. Well, we'll get the Southend out the way, and it'll be the first time for a long time that we have a full week of training into a game, which I think the players do need. Some of the players that have played a lot of the minutes need a bit of time off their feet. Some of the lads who are coming into the fore or have come into the fore over the last couple of weeks, and 1 or 2 that you may see again tomorrow for the first time in a little while. That's something that we look forward to on Monday. But, that'll not be an easy game. It's a tough place to go, Mark. Another guy who knows what he's doing. He's got a really good, experienced group of lads who are used to winning football matches, especially at home. So, like I said, we will look forward to it come Monday. But at the moment, we're focused on Southend United.
And away from the first team a little bit, it was great to see the youngsters go through in the FA Youth Cup last night.
Brilliant. I mean, on a similar level to us in the FA Cup, we don't expect that you can go all the way and win the cup, but to progress a few rounds and maybe get a nice tie against one of the big boys, whether it's home or away, for our lads to experience that would be fantastic. But the rock isn't broken just with the last hit of the hammer. You've got to start somewhere, and they've won a round in the FA Trophy, and that's really, really well done to everybody involved in that. And I'm delighted that they could go further. I'm sure we as a staff and players will keep our eye on it when the next round comes along to go and see him.
Of course, and it's always a benefit to you, isn't it? And over the last few years, we've seen a few of the lads make that progression, haven't we? So it's always good to keep that.
Well, I've always said, there's definitely a pathway from our youth and our academy group to come into the first team. You just have to look at Maxwell, Keane Anderson, Joe Lewis-Evans now. Harry Thorpe's been around us. There's plenty of lads who are in and around us on a daily basis training wise, and they don't bring the level of the training session down. So that's the first thing. The next thing we try to do then is get them out and play senior football at some level. Sometimes it has to be a little lower than I think their ability warrants, but that's understandable that managers also want older players themselves. So if we can get 18 and 19-year-old lads out playing senior football as early as that can only put them in good stead with us because they're training with us. And yeah, the future's bright in that part, I would say.